Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my goodness, this weekend it has the news and the TikTok and everything has been a buzz with the incident with Terrell Davis and the flight attendant. I don't know if I think he said American Airlines. But if you're not familiar with it, take a look at this.
You're on a flight.
Yeah.
Beverage service starts.
Yeah.
Tell us what happens.
Yeah. I mean, it's an ordinary flight. They have the beverage service that starts, and I'm in row 11, and I'm in the aisle. My oldest son is right next to me in the middle seat. My youngest son is in the window seat. My wife is across the aisle, and my wife and daughter across the aisle in one row back. And so it's a typical flight, nothing out of the ordinary. Beverage service starts, and the gentleman pulls up, and I'm reading a magazine. My kids are playing with their iPads, so I heard him ask, like, what do you want? Like, beverage, what do you want? And they were busy playing with the iPad, so they didn't respond. And I remember the tone got a little bit more aggressive. And I was like, man, that was kind of rude for him to ask my kids like that. So they got startled. They ordered their drinks. And I remember this, he puts the drinks on the tray, but with force. Like he just kind of slams them down. They say, thank you. He doesn't say anything. So I was like, all right, whatever. So he asked me my order. I give him my order again, kind of slams the drink down. And again, I'm thinking, well, what is going on with this guy? But whatever. As he gives me my drink, he starts to move the cart. And my son says, excuse me, might I have some ice? And he obviously didn't hear my son ask for ice. So he moved the cart probably past my seat. And so my hand was up like, excuse me. And then I finally said, excuse me, can I get some ice? I just tapped him on the shoulder. He swings his arm back and said, don't hit me. And I'm like, dude, I didn't hit you. And then he rushes up to the front of the plane. He leaves the cart right there. And a gentleman in front of me turns around and says, I saw everything. I saw that. Like why did you didn't hit him? I'm like, of course I didn't hit him. So as I'm sitting there on the plane, it was bizarre because he's up there for a couple of minutes. And again, I was like, whatever. So I started reading the magazine.
So you don't think anything of it?
Nothing of it. Yeah. He comes back. He puts the cup of ice on my son's tray. He then takes the cart and takes it back up to first class. And about 3 minutes later, another flight attendant takes over. She brings the cart down, starts servicing the area, and that's it. But then, I don't see him for the rest of the flight.
You don't see him for the rest of
the flight.
But what did you see when you landed? What did you hear and see once the plane had
that's
landed?
A different story. I mean, when we landed, they told everybody to remain in their seats because for whatever reason. And I thought it was a medical emergency. I fly a lot, so I've seen that before where they say, stay in your seat, someone they need to tend to. And so I've seen that before. So again, I'm just reading a magazine and 4 or 5 minutes pass. And then my head is down and I can hear like the walkie-talkies. I hear a lot of the gear and wrestling of like, you can hear when they come on. And everybody, you can kind of hear like the awls or like, you can hear people.
The reactions
to them coming on.
Yeah.
When you say they coming on, who's coming on? The FBI?
FBI. Big FBI letters on the jackets.
Big as daylight. Can't miss it.
Yeah.
Okay.
FBI, I believe it was Orange County Sheriff Department. Guys with green. I didn't know who they were at the time, but you can tell it was
law enforcement.
Without without explaining to me why they were doing it. They walk up to me and the guy he whispers in my ear. He says, "Don't fight it," and he puts cuffs on me
while I'm
sitting down.
With everybody still on the plane.
Everybody's on the plane.
He never introduced, acknowledged or confirmed that it was Terrell.
Or say, hey, here's why. Here's what happened.
We're doing this, or
nothing.
Can I ask what happened? He just walked straight up to him and placed hands.
And what was it like for you to go to see your husband in handcuffs?
I thought it was a joke because what else could it be? And I saw the agents come on. So of course it caught my attention like everyone else. And they just walked straight up to Terrell and just played. And so I jumped out of my seat and I said, wait a minute, like what's going on? And I hopped over the woman next to me and I was kind of like, to Terrell, are you joking? Like, is this a practical, is this a prank? Like, and he just said quietly, no, it's not. And I'm looking at my sons who are sitting right next to him, watching their dad being handcuffed. and what could we do? And I'm asking them, what is going on? Like, why are you doing this? Why? And they pick him, have him stand up and pull him out. So I go after him and he's telling me to stop. And then I'm standing there. The kids are still sitting in their seat. Everyone's staring
it was
at
chaos.
us.
It was just, it
And
was
the children are
chaotic.
ages 9 to
We have
13?
13. Our sons are 13 and 11. Our daughter is 9. No one helped me.
Yeah.
No, they came back. They asked for a jacket to drape over Terrell's wrist. I said, can we get off the plane? So I yelled to the kids, let's go. I grabbed Terrell's bag out of the overhead. Where do we go? Like, what do we do? You know, I want to go with him. No one, I mean, we were just left to fend for ourselves on a flight with everyone staring at us.
And
Okay, guys. That's crazy, right? Can you imagine, as a Black woman, that has a Black son, that was married to a Black man and dates a Black man, and neither of whom have been arrested or held or handcuffed or anything like that. We have all lived great lives. Could you imagine being on a plane, literally minding your own business, and you see people come on the plane and you have no idea they're for you? Look at this couple. Look at them. Beautiful couple. That's a beautiful man. That's a beautiful woman. He does not fit the description, right? He doesn't have any visible tattoos. I'm sure he was dressed well when he got on the flight. I'm sure the whole family was well behaved, right? And this man had spent his entire life, never having been in handcuffs. And all he did was get on a plane with his family to go to Disney. And all it took was the perception of the flight attendant that they had been wronged. If that was really the perception, maybe this person knew exactly who Hall of Famer Terrell Davis was. And maybe their intent was to cause a scene and embarrass this man. Maybe they thought there was money in it if they did. I don't know. But he was arrested in front of his children. I'm sorry, his 2 boys that the flight attendant saw sitting right next to them. So even if the flight attendant thought or perceived that they had been wronged, was it that deep that you had to call the FBI to have this person escorted off the plane when you landed? Was it that deep? Are there bruises? Are there images of the assault? Because that's a lot of power with one person. And all they have to do is perceive a threat. And I keep saying the words perceive because it's been thrown, I've been hearing it a lot, right? I keep hearing that someone's perception is in fact their reality. Great. But what about the other person's perception and their reality? Terrell Davis perceived that he did nothing wrong. He tapped someone on the shoulder to get their attention, to give his son a bag of ice. That was it. That was all. And he went on about his day. His kids, his boys went on about their day. Didn't think a thing about it. They heard the commotion as people came onto the plane. Never for a moment did they think it was for him. We've all seen videos of people acting a complete fool on a plane, and somehow they are not escorted off. They are not escorted off. They are allowed to fly, they're allowed to keep moving forward. But this man tapped someone to ask for a cup of ice, and that warranted all of that? And let's just take a moment and talk about his wife, Tamiko. First of all, she's a beautiful woman. And I love when she said she jumped over her seatmate to get to Terrell. Because we all know this situation. We all know what it's like to feel as though we have to protect this Black man no matter what. Because we don't know what's about to happen. We don't know what they're about to do to this man. And so, yes, roll them up. Get everybody. Hold on a minute. Let me get my bags real quick. And we are going to roll out here together. You are not taking my husband without me. Give me just a minute to get my stuff. Babies, y'all come on. That's exactly what she did, and that was what she was supposed to do. Protect that man. I can't. I'm almost choked up because I can't imagine how her kids or how their kids must feel. Right? Can you imagine? It's hard enough raising Black boys, and it's hard enough being chastised for it as a woman. Right? But you have a husband who is an NFL Hall of Famer, but he's just a real person. He is professional. He's intelligent. He's good looking. He does not check any of the marks of he fits the description beyond being tall and dark skinned. That's it. This man is educated. This man has money. And it did not matter. All it took to bring that man down was the perceived infraction of a flight attendant. Okay, that I'm off my soapbox. I'm sorry. I just cannot believe this is happening. So we're going to move on.
All right, so yesterday I made a video talking about how NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Davis was handcuffed and removed from a United Airlines flight after an interaction with one of the flight attendants, and now that the story's gone viral, United Airlines has finally responded. Quick recap, Terrell Davis says that during the beverage portion of his United Airlines flight, the flight attendant either didn't hear his son or ignored his son, and as they kept going, Terrell Davis says that he calmly tapped them, and the next thing he knew, the flight attendant screamed, "Don't hit me," and Terrell Davis ended up getting removed from the plane in handcuffs by FBI agents. After law enforcement talked to both Terrell Davis and the flight attendant, they determined that Terrell Davis didn't really do anything, and now United Airlines has responded. United Airlines said, "This is clearly not the travel experience we strive to provide, and we've reached out to Mr. Davis's team to apologize." They added, "We've removed the flight attendant from duty while we closely review this matter." Well, there you have it. I'm sure this won't fix Terrell Davis's view of the airline, but at least people now know that he was probably the victim in this situation. With all this being said, hey, airlines, maybe we don't need to throw a guy in handcuffs unless it's very obvious that he did something wrong. Like if this flight attendant was all banged up and, showing signs that he was injured or something, sure, you probably need to throw that guy in handcuffs. But I don't think that's the case. My explanation of the events in this video were definitely a big overview, so if you want to get more information, I highly suggest you check out my video that I did yesterday. I went through Terrell Davis' statement. It's way more in depth, so with that being said, check that video out if you want to know more about the situation.
Wow. Just wow, right? Just amazing. That's all they can say, that that person is on hold right now or suspended right now at home, chilling, pending an outcome. Really? And the only reason that is because that was Terrell Davis. If it was any one of us, there would be no investigation. It wouldn't even, oh my God, it wouldn't even happen. And let me say this before you all get into my comments saying that I said Terrell was arrested. I did say that because in my mind, arrested and handcuffed are the same thing. If there's a distinction, baby, I am not aware. I have never been handcuffed and I've never been arrested. Okay? To me, if you see the FBI coming towards you, you are being arrested. Okay? He wasn't able to move on by himself without being handcuffed. So at bare minimum, he was detained. So don't get in my comments talking about my verbiage is incorrect. To me, the two are the same. If I'm handcuffed, I must be arrested. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much if you stayed this long and watched till the end. I truly do appreciate it. Every view, every comment, every like, every share truly does help me and encourage me to move forward and keep doing what I'm doing. Let's watch to the end. There's one more video, and the next video tells you that that person should absolutely be arrested by or handcuffed, detained by the FBI, but not Terrell Davis. But that's all I got. Until next time, toodles. Oh, wait. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, guys. Toodles.
Video of Maxwell Berry screaming while duct taped to an airplane seat went viral in August of 2021. He was on a flight from Philadelphia to Miami when he groped the breasts and backsides of 2 female flight attendants. He was also recorded punching a male flight attendant. To keep Berry from attacking or groping anyone else, flight attendants used seatbelt extenders and tape to keep him seated and his mouth temporarily shut. Berry pled guilty to 3 counts of assault and was just sentenced to 60 days in jail and 1 year of supervised release. This video of Max